Today we are going to understand the new chapter continuity and differentiability. See, basically what continuity is, it is for function. See, if I'm able to draw, I'm just telling you very basic thing that you can understand for continuity of a function. If I want to draw a function and I am doing this without lifting my hand. So this graph you see, I have drawn it, and this is some A and this is some B, means that function is defined in this interval AB. AB is the domain of interval AB is the domain of function fx. So if I can do this graph, I can draw the graph of this function fx without lifting my pen or hand, then you can say the function is continuous in very simple terms, or and it is continuous in this interval AB. But if suppose function is defined on all real numbers, means the domain is a real numbers. So if it means that if I am able to draw a function like this without lifting my pen from minus infinity to plus infinity, then we say this function is continuous throughout its domain, which is here the real numbers. Okay, so but every function is not like this, that you can draw them without lifting your pen. Sometimes you may have to lift your pen or hand so that you can draw the function. Now I'm taking this example fx. This is 1 fx. The value of fx is 1 if x is less than equal to 0, and 2 if x greater than 0. And if I ask you to draw this function, so you cannot draw this function without lifting your pen. For example, you see this, for x all greater than 0, means if you go x this side, then your value of this is fixed, which is 2. So you will go like this 2. So you go like this. If your value of x is positive, that means you are going like this. But here you are not including 0, so I have kept this circle unfilled. And here if x is negative, then you are going for y as 1. So this is the graph you can see. But if you want to plot this, you can do this first, or you will be doing this second. So it means somewhere you have to lift your pen. You cannot draw this in a one way or in one continuation. Take another example. This is fx is 1 if x not equal to 0, and 2 if x equal to 0. So it means if I take x equal to 0, then y is equal to 2 is this point, and for all other values which is not equal to x not equal to, in which x not equal to 0, the value is 1. So I can go this negative side, the answer will be 1. I can go this positive side, the answer will be 1. But I cannot take that 0 here, because 0 is already taken when 0 is taken when y was 2. So you can see that graph also, you cannot draw this graph without lifting your hand or pen. So very simple or very basic thing, that functions are continuous if you can draw them without lifting your pen. This is what you can understand geometrically. Now we will come to the definition also, and we'll learn the procedure also, how to show that function is continuous. So now continuity of a function is defined at two ways. Defined in two ways. First way is the continuity of a function at a point, or continuity of a function in its domain. So first one, we'll discuss the definition 1. Suppose f is a real function on a subset of real numbers. I'm again explaining you what real function means. Real function means the domain of f is a real subset of real numbers, and codomain is also a subset of real numbers. So f is also called the real valued function, subset of real numbers. And let C be a point in the domain of f. Whatever the domain of f is, C is a point of this, then f is continuous at C if limit x tends to C fx, whatever the value of this limit comes, and if that is equal to you put the value of C in the function, then if both of these are equal, then you say the function is continuous at that point C. So this is the definition, which is in terms of a point function to be when you can say the function is continuous at that point. So this is your second definition, which does not talk about the point. It talks about the all points of its domain. So that will be discussed later, but we'll discuss this first, and we'll be doing some question basis on this definition 1. See this function. Prove that function fx equal to fx minus 3 is continuous at x equal to 0, at x equal to minus 3, and at x equal to 5. So they are asking us to check whether the given function is continuous at these 3 points. So it means we are now dealing with definition 1 at which talks about the continuity of a function at a point. So you see how I'm going to do this, and you can also do for 5. I am just going to do for x equal to 0 and x equal to minus 3. So take limit x tends to 0. I am checking at x equal to 0. So I'm calculating the value of this function limit at this point. So I have taken this limit x tends to 0, and this is, first you take fx, so it will be limit x tends to 0, and fx is your 5x minus 3. You have done limits in class 11, so it is the same that we are now following. So x, there is no denominator, for which you can see that function can be not defined at this point 0. So now you can put directly the value of this x equal to 0. So this will be 5 into 0 minus 3, and the answer will be minus 3. Now we see that f minus 3, because the definition was that you calculate the limit at that point, and then you put the value of this is 0 because we are checking at 0. So f0 will be 5 into 0 minus 3. So this is again now 3. So therefore I can say ki fx limit x tends to 0 is equal to f0. So f is continuous at x equal to 0. So this way we can show whether the function is continuous or not at that particular point. Now take another point we'll take at x equal to minus 3. So we'll first find the limit x tends to minus 3 fx. So limit x tends to minus 3, this is 5 minus 3 and minus 3. So that is minus 15, and this is minus 18. So now you calculate f minus 3. So this is 5 into minus 3 minus 3. So again answer is minus 18. Therefore limit x tends to minus 3 fx equal to f minus 3. So you can say f is continuous at x equal to minus 3. So this way you can now try for this x equal to 5. You see whether this function is continuous or not. This was the question number 1 of exercise. This is exercise 5.1 we are discussing. Now this come to this question number 2. Examine the continuity of the function fx equal to 2x square minus 1 at x equal to 3. So now we'll at x equal to 3 will take limit x tends to 3 fx. So this is limit x tends to 3, fx is 2x square minus 1. So you can see again that for x equal to 3 the function is defined. So put the value this directly. So this is 2 into 3 square minus 1. This is 9 to the 18, and this is now 17. So now take this x equal to 3 in function f3. So this becomes 3 square minus 1. So again it is 17. Therefore you can see that limit fx x tends to 3 is equal to f3. Therefore function is, which implies f is continuous at x equal to 3. So this is very simple way to check whether the function is continuous at that point, which is here in this case is 3. Now come to question number 3. See, again you have to check for the continuity of this function, but here you can see the point is not defined. It means that the domain of this function is real number. See, or you can you have done question or based on domain and range. So if I ask you to find domain and range, then domain of this function will be real number. So it means that we are going to discuss this function on in its domain, and domain is a real number. So now we are coming to the definition number 2, which says a function is continuous if it is continuous at all point of its domain. So we are taking all points of its domain, but you see that there are infinite number of points in its domain. Real number is a domain of this set of this function, so it is not possible to take each and every number every time. So in general we take let's say, let C belongs to R, I am taking as a point of its domain, and we'll check whether this function is continuous at this point or not. So I am calculating limit x tends to C fx. So this will be C minus 5, and if I put the value fc, then this is C minus 5 again. So whatever the value of C, but these two values means the limit of the function at x equal to C and the value of the function at C, both will always be equal. So it means that, which implies that f is continuous in R. R means the domain. Now you see this second part, fx equal to 1 upon x minus 5, x not equal to 5. So now if I ask you to find domain, then you can say the domain is all real numbers except that 5. So this is the domain. So again we'll take any general point. Let's say let C belongs to its domain and C is not equal to 5, because domain is R minus 5, so means C cannot be equal to 5. So we'll find the limit x tends to C fx. So this becomes limit x tends to C, and fx is 1 upon x minus 5, so this becomes 1 upon C minus 5. Remember this, that this will not be this is defined function because C is not equal to 5. Now similarly put the value fc, then it again becomes C minus 5. So whatever the value of C is in this domain, these two values will always remain the same. So it implies that f is continuous in its domain. Now we'll discuss this function. So again you see the domain of this function is all real numbers, because for all real numbers this function is defined. So domain is R. Now let C belongs to R is a general point. Now we'll find the limit at x tends to C fx. So that will become your C minus 5, and fc will also be modulus C minus 5. So you see that both values are coming same. Whatever the value of C you might take, but these two value will remain the same. So it means that f is continuous in its domain. So this is how you can discuss all these problems. So till now we have done we have discussed the continuity of a function at a point, continuity of a function in its domain. Now coming to this question number 5, which is important one, and you are going to get basically these types of questions in the exam also. See, the question is the function f defined by fx equal to this is continuous at x equal to 0, x equal to 1, or x equal to 2. So now you have done in class 11th left hand limit, right hand limit. So you can use that concept, and or you can do this directly You have to keep in mind all the methods. So I am doing this with the simple method, and after this next question will be discussed with left hand limit or right hand limit that you've done in class 11th. So I am taking at x equal to 0. So I am going to find x tends to 0 fx. So now you see that x tends to 0 is less than 1. X tends to 0 means x can be this point at this point, or x can be at this point. It means x can be this, x tends to 0 means it can be more than 0 but very small value, and it can be less than 0 very small value. But in all the cases, all these two values will remain less than 1. So it means your function will be this only, x. So answer of this will be 0. Now find the value of the function at x equal to 0. So f0 means you are taking exactly x equal to 0, and this 0 is less than 1. So your answer is again x, but x, because you are taking x as 0, so it is 0. So you can see that limit x tends to 0 fx equal to f0. So it implies that f is continuous at x equal to 0. So this part I have done. Now I am taking one more part, x equal to 1. At x equal to 1, we'll see that how this function works if I take x equal to 1. So take limit x tends to 1 fx. But here you see, when you are saying x tends to 1, then we have two cases. X can be greater than 1 or x can be less than 1. So now we are going to discuss our left hand limits and right hand limits. So I just give you the formula first, so that you can recall the formula and then you can discuss this. And the important thing is that why we are discussing this left hand limit and right hand limit. Reason being that function is actually for greater than 1 is something else, and function is different for x greater than 1 and x less than 1. So we have to discuss left hand limit and right hand limit at this point x equal to 1. Now I have written this. This is right hand limit. I'm going to check right hand limit. So x tends to 1 plus, it means that we are going for right hand limit at x equal to 1 fx. So this, you know, the formula of writing this in this form is limit h tends to 0 f1 plus h. So f1 plus h, as we have discussed very much in detail in class 11th, that 1 plus h means this is now your x for this time being. So 1 plus h is greater than 1, and you know h is very small positive value that we have discussed in class 11th also. H is very small positive value, so 1 plus h will be greater than 1. If it is greater than 1, the value of the function is 5. So I can write this value directly as 5. Now come to left hand limit. So this means limit x tends to 1 minus fx, that can be written as limit h tends to 0 f 1 minus h. This 1 minus h is, you see that 1 minus h you are doing, it means h is very small positive value. So this answer means I am just putting this dot under this. So 1 minus h, this is here now it is, you consider this as x. So this value is less than 1, and if value is less than 1, your function is fx. So you are going to put limit x tends to h tends to 0, and at place of x, you see fx equal to x. So if I ask you f1 minus h, if I here I put x equal to 1 minus h, so your answer will be 1 minus h. So this becomes 1 minus h. So you can see that value after putting h equal to 0 is coming 1. So you can see your left hand limit and right hand limit are not equal. It means limit does not exist. Left hand limit not equal to right hand limit, which implies limit does not exist. So if limit does not exist, then there is no need to go and check the function's value at x equal to 1, because if limit exists, only then we can see the value of fx at x equal to 1. Otherwise you can simply say here now that f is not continuous at x equal to 1. We'll discuss more questions based on this, but you just recall what you have done in class 11th about the limits. Now we go quickly for algebra of limits. Theorem number 1, suppose f and g be two real functions continuous at a real number c, then f plus g is continuous, f minus g is continuous, f dot means f product with g is continuous, f upon g is continuous at x equal to c, provided that gc not equal to 0. So this is, if two functions are continuous, then their sum is continuous, their difference is continuous, their product is continuous, their quotient is continuous. So for example, I have just explained you, if fx equal to 2x and gx equal to x plus 1, then f plus g x, how it is defined. So f plus gx is fx plus gx. You can put the value fx as 2x, and this is x plus 1, this is 3x plus 1. Similarly, f minus gx is fx minus gx. So this is 2x minus x minus 1, it becomes x equal x minus 1. F product gx, so it can be written as fx product gx. So this is 2x and gx is x plus 1, so this is 2x square plus 2x. f upon gx is fx upon gx, this is 2x upon x plus 1, and you see this gx is defined if x not equal to minus 1. So this is what we have done till now, and we'll continue after this with some more questions.